Good morning. Today we have Mr. Rajiv Lochan, our Supreme Court lawyer, for an interview on 360-degree Rising Bharat. My first question today, sir, is that it's prominent news. Mr. Obama has written a very interesting book on the Indian political scenario. What is your view on what he's written about India and our political leaders?
Okay, you just see one thing in the American context. First, we need to understand writing book is a very common affair for politicians there, and of course, because whatever good or bad happens in their tenure as a presidency, and they write it down. That's there, and but most interesting thing is that like a certain revelation. Most important part is that as he did about the Indian political scenarios of between 2004 to 2014, and that's a very interesting one, like why the Manmohan Singh has been chosen as a prime minister. And the second, it is little dangerous one where he has talked about why India did not retaliate after 26/11. So this is this is a concern of national security.
True. What I want to, now that you mentioned, can we talk about the Bombay bombings, and why do you think that the Congress at that very important point in our country, why we did not retaliate, and why did we not take any action after the bombings?
Yes, this is a very surprising revelation, and I feel very sad as an Indian citizen because we have a capable Air Force, we have one of the strongest army of the world, and there has been some messages came across actually. Even Air Force that point of time has proposed to the government to Manmohan Singh, okay, we are ready for a retaliation and give us an opportunity, and we will do something, because it's very important for a morale of the country, because if say let's say 10-12 odd peoples are coming from other territory and they come and they do the terrorist act, and nearly I think so between 275 to 300 people are being killed. It's all about the national image, number one. Second thing is all about the safety and security. Third thing is about the confidence of a common people on our security forces. So that was an opportunity for a government to retaliate instead of just only doing the lip service or giving the dossier to the Pakistan. So
Why did we not retaliate? What is the reason Congress did not take action?
Yeah, that's again I will come to the book of Barack Obama that you interestingly asked. He says that somewhere because that incident has happened in 2008 and 2009, there was an election, and they thought, okay, if we will do a target based strike on Pakistan, in that case because somewhere they have a feeling that okay, this may not they may not be synced well with the Indian Muslim population, and that is a very bad thinking. It means somewhere as a Congress, as a party, they think that Muslims are less patriotic. No, for them also this is their country, and I find there are so many Muslim friends around that is there they are proud to being an Indian, and they are ready to take an action against any country. So this is what exactly, this is a completely misconception if any government has thought, as per if you look at that book basically,
right.
Okay, because anybody who is living in India is an Indian, and everybody should be proud of their national forces, and whenever an opportunity comes, whether it's require a retaliation, because nobody should take us as a granted. Yes. But that incidents of 26/11 is a really the blot basically.
It's a shame.
It's really a shame.
True.
And most important part is that because somewhere some intelligence failure is there, and the second part is that it was an opportunity for us to teach a lesson to the country who is really promoting the terrorism in country. So this is an opportunity lost for
the opportunity to stand up and
yes, that is there. That's and I feel really bad about because this is injustice to those people who has got killed. Around nearly 275 to 300 people got killed. Second thing, this is injustice to our security forces basically, because there are so many, nearly 11 NSG commandos has been killed, that is there.
Right.
And there are so many police forces from Maharashtra police that
Right.
they have been killed. So it's really it's, if it is truth and it's a matter of investigation, and if it is like so, and then it's really shame.
Do you think this matter is going to be investigated? Do you think it's going to come up as a investigation? Do you think somebody will be questioned why this action was not taken, and do you think it will become an issue?
You just see, like there has been several people in the political scenario has mentioned that, like the period between 2004 to 2014,
Right.
it was a coalition government that is there, and I may not name that, but one of my friend happened to meet Mr. Manmohan Singh, and he also raised this question
Right.
to him directly, and he said that, like, you know, running a coalition government is a very challenging,
True.
and you have to make a lot of compromises. But one thing I really want to say that, like, ki, irrespective of whatever kind of compromise you make for a political reason, that's fine. But the national security is the prime most important, because a head of a nation is responsible for every citizen of the country.
So, what is your answer for our national security today? What do you think we should do to take charge of our national security, where we have open borders like Bombay? And what are the national policies that we should have or we should follow, irrespective of the government in power? Because it's about the people, it's not about the government.
Yes, we have to first accept the fact is like because 1993 bombing, and then 26/11, then if you look into the perspective, like again the coastal region of Mumbai is very vulnerable to this kind of attack basically that is there, and therefore there should be maybe a special battalion or a special troops should be deployed there who really look after the coastal region. That's very important, and who should have a capacity to react in a shortest period if any such attack happen. That's number one. And the second question, as you are asking about the national policy, yes, that's most important thing is that irrespective of whichever government is coming, but there should be a team of national security advisory committee kind of thing that is there, and that policy decision cannot be changed even the government is changing, because it is about the safety and security of every individual of the country and the safety and security as a nation as a whole. That's very important.
And what is, since you were talking about the period of 2004 to 2014, what do you see the stark difference of the leadership before 2004 and post 2004? What is the difference between the two leaderships, and what do you think that we can take away from between the two governments during this period?
One thing I tell you, like before 2004, again it was a Vajpayee era, really like a 3 consecutive period, like he became he got the national mandate and he became prime minister.
Right.
And he has done, like, he has took very decisive steps. Like, as I say, if you about the security, there was an amazing thing basically, because that period where India, irrespective of how many sanctions and all that, like against the international campaign, but he has taken a decision for
A lot of
going
action
the nuclear
was
power.
taken
Yes,
there.
like we have tasted our nuclear capability that is there. That's number one. Second thing, he took all the decisions, like especially the infrastructure segment, like there has been a massive progress in that time, and you can say that GDP he left with around 8.4%.
Yes.
And that was a historic basically.
Right.
And so that was a time where the most important thing that, because as a decisive leader, he came into the arena and he did a remarkable thing. Again, the telecom revolution is also one of the another thing which
Right.
came into that period,
Right.
and that has really changed basically the complete scenario of Indian.
Do you feel, in comparison, post 2004, did we have sort of instead of a proactive, did we have a sort of non-active government? Do you feel?
You
that?
say yes,
Because,
like
I mean,
one
when you look
way.
at the change in the GDP and
Yeah,
there's
you
a
will
lot of-
feel between period of 2004 to 2014 was like a
You can call
status
it
quo
calm,
government,
yes.
status quo. status quo government, because they just want to run the government for the sake of, as I say, running the period. Unfortunately, those eras where the maximum scandalous scams and the corruption cases has come up between 2004 to 2014, and this is, as I tell you, like about the whether it's a coal scandal or 2G scandal, or there are a list of like scandals has come up that is there in those period. So that was a time. I have told you, like basically there are maybe the coalition government, and that's the reason the people of country need to realize that if you have not a clear mandate, and if you have a coalition government where like a 10, 20, 30 parties, so they are just trying to take a flesh out of the whole thing, like taking a piece of cake out of the whole cake. That's what exactly they are more thinking about their benefit instead of benefit as a whole, as a nation. That's.
I have another question on similar lines. When we're talking about governments before 2004 and post 2004 to 14, I would also, we know you're a Sena Bhakt, so we would also know, I would like your opinion on what if Obama wrote his second book, and his second book would obviously be entailing, you know, the
Yes,
BJP
like
and Modi government. What do you think he's going to say if he had to
being
bring
yes,
up
like
some-
as I say, I proudly say, like I'm from Modi Sena, and basically we somewhere we work in the strategic manner with the BJP.
Right.
One thing I want to tell you, like because yes, he will, if he writes the second book, and he will write the books about the Modi era, you can say that 2014 onward.
Right.
And but he has clearly mentioned the several, like whether his visit to India on the on the Republic Day, and but one thing is very clear, like okay, he has said at the several places he is meeting with a very decisive leader, a strong prime minister. That's very, very important. Second thing is that the way the Modi has taken a decision on the climate change, that is there, because in the international scenario, of course, he will write about how Modi has changed the international perception about India.
True.
Okay.
Right.
To the global map. That's gonna be the more important thing. And of course, he will write about like how these decisiveness and the strong leadership make an impact. So there will be those kind of revelation where he will say like, and certain places like dealing with Modi in the certain, as far as national interest comes, like
National, yes.
he's a non-compromising leader. That's
Right.
So of course he may write about that. You will have a more positive revelation instead of this negative thing. That is
Let's hope so. We hope for a second book of Obama, and we'd be very much interested to see what comes up next, if it ever does. Thank you so much for your time
okay.
today.
Then thank
It's
you.
been
Thanks a
pleasure
lot.
meeting you.
Thank you.